know in the event that something catastrophic should happen to any and all of us. We are about to come out with 2 videos at the end of this month. One will be demonstrating what we call our CFS procedure, which is on chronic fatigue or Epstein-Barr. It also seems to affect attention deficit disorders in children. It's a very effective procedure. That'll be out the end of the month. And the other one is on AIDS. And we've had about 3 years now with this method on the AIDS problem. We're seeing very positive results. People from the wasting stages, the last stages of AIDS, who have bounced back, and the quality of their life has improved substantially. So that video is also coming out at the end of the month. I don't know if, Dean, were we going to have any workshop time at all?
We might have some Monday.
Okay, so we might be able to do either a CFS or an AIDS workshop. I guess let them know up front which one you might prefer. Maybe we can combine something if we just have one workshop slot. Other than that, I'm very happy to be back, and I see a lot of familiar faces, and I know we're going to have a wonderful time here, and thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. A lot of you know,
way in the far back northwest corner. See, I know where I'm at.
a lot of you know Nancy was a speaker here a couple of years ago with that technique. Nancy Nelson is next, and is Danny Hashimoto here? Okay.
Good evening. My name is Nancy Nelson, and I have a booth that's backed by Howard, and I have a computer, and what I'm doing is I've designed some cards, and I do readings, and it's called energetic readings is what I call it, and I work with 5 different bodies, which everyone's pretty familiar with. It's the subtle body, the creative body, or the spiritual body. The next body is the mental, the emotional, and the physical. What I do is with the readings is I look into the people, either in this time period or other time periods, and I find out the information that they can access to help create a balance or a congruity, so that they can find out what issues they're working on or if things have come through other time periods. I'm also doing some astrology readings that are not of the old, I don't want to say old norm because I respect all astrology, but what it is I work with essence energies. So I work with the essence of things and not in the polarity. So I don't look at things as good and bad in experience in life anymore. I look at them as just an experience, and everything holds information for me. I started working with a new group called Quanta Inc., and they're located in the area where I live, and we're working internationally with this new technology that's called Creative Intelligence Technology. From doing the workshops and working with this energy, the byproducts that I've come up with is the readings that I'm doing, and I created my own cards to do it with. So that's what I'm up to this day. And I came here 2 years ago, and I was working with Indian things, fans and feathers and stuff. And I find it really fascinating. In 2 years, I've really come into the world of technology, and I'm really happy to see all these faces again. Thank you.
Danny Hashimoto is next, and next up then would be Doe Kelly.
God, I didn't die.
Too busy talking back there. Good evening. It's good to be back here. I've had the pleasure of speaking at Global Sciences before, most recently at Virginia Beach, which was great fun. And I'm sure you'll have an exciting time ahead of you because some of the speakers who were there are present here for this conference. In any event, what I like to do is help people deal with the infernal revenue service. And I've been very successful over the years. The IRS has tried to take me out, but I've managed to put them in the back seat where they belong. And at the same time, I've been helping people with asset protection. If the IRS or creditors are after you, there's a way to protect assets using trusts. Many people here are spiritually oriented. There's a way to create a church. I can help people do that also. And we have a long stream of court cases to show some of the victories that we've had, both in civil as well as criminal cases. I'd be happy to share this with you. I've got some free literature at my back table there in the back center. How many people saw the Clinton Chronicles tonight? It's the hottest tape in the country. I'm also making this available to you if you like. I've got a few more left, and I'll have more over the weekend. And a lot of other things exposing the big picture, what's really happening. And that's what I like about Global Sciences so much, because here you get the big picture. Thank you.
You're up pretty soon.
Thanks, Danny. This is Doe Kelly, and Thena and Avalon are next.
Hi, I'm Doe Kelly, and in my booth I'm selling a variety of different things, including crystals, crop circle t-shirts such as the one I'm wearing here by Ron Russell, who is a Denver artist, and some of you know him. I'm also selling some little devices like this blue bead that I'm wearing right now, and also some tabs that help to protect you from electromagnetic fields, particularly computers and television sets and fluorescent lighting and so forth. And I also am a singer and recording artist. I'm selling 2 albums that I've put out. One of them is a meditation album and the other is a Christmas album. And I invite you, it's back to booth number 35 on the right-hand side. I'm also selling photography that I've taken around the world in my journeys. That's it.
Thank you, Doe. Avalon. Avalon is next. Don Lorimer, be ready.
Greetings. Welcome, everybody. I feel very welcome to be here again. I come as often as I can. Thena and I have had a chance to speak as well at the Global Science when it was in Daytona. Wouldn't miss it for the world. We travel like 3,000 miles a week sometimes, and we come here every time. We have a booth in the far back corner where we have some interesting artwork of love that was created by the 2 of us, but this is just for fun and a sideline. We have been working with the presentation of some new developments in a fossil-free electrical dynamo that was invented by Barbara Hickox, who spoke here a year or 2 ago. Working prototypes. We should have some information available by tomorrow for any of those who want to come by and see about that. It's only first day and I already feel so energized from all of this. We would like you to come back and also share in some networking that we do nationally and internationally regarding information from spirit and the higher dimensions regarding some of the wonderful, wonderful things awaiting us just on the other side of the transition, and make our ways to transition, meaning the next few years while we're living on the planet, not the other side. We are doing 2 workshops here in the Denver area shortly after the Global Science meeting, and there's information about that, which is very, very interesting. I hope to see every one of you at your own booths and as I mill around, for I'm feeling a lot of love from all of you as I pass by. Thank you.
Thank you, Avalon. All right. Don Lorimer is up. Is Sarah Lindsley in the room? If not, then we need Kia Oro to be next. Okay.
Hi, I'm Don Lorimer. I've had the opportunity of traveling for the last 8 years studying alternative healers throughout the world. And because my background is somewhat scientific, I've zeroed in on networking with healers of all types throughout the world, and in particular studying the effects of permanent magnets on the biological system. We as living things, whether we're a 4-footed mammal or a blade of grass or a tree, have evolved in the magnetic energy of Mother Earth, supported by the magnetic energy of the sun, and many people here have talked about that today and will throughout the days. What happens in the biological system is that the things that we do to it throw us out of balance. The simplicity of it is that there's only 3 ways that you can be. You either vibrate too fast, too slow, or you're in balance. And what has been shown to me intuitively through the Ascended Master Hilarion is how to use permanent magnets to bring that that balance back into balance and restore control to the immune system. Fundamentally, this has manifested for me in a 6-point program that has been shown to me. Any one of the 6 points is highly effective in various different disorders or imbalances. All 6 of them, when put into play, have been known to heal any disease known to mankind. Perhaps the most radical situation I've worked with is a 26-year-old AIDS patient in Toronto that had 2 days to live. Treating him magnetically, we had him on the street in 3 days. I spoke for Dowser Society here a couple of weeks ago, and Dean Stonier was unknown to me at that time personally, and he invited me to come here and be an exhibitor. I'm back here with the water tower because magnetically treated water is one of the essential elements of the 6. I am conducting back-to-back one-day workshops next weekend here in Denver, and I have information on this. The bottom line as I see it is that when science turns towards spiritual discoveries, it'll make more progress in 50 years than all of its past history. That statement was made by a man by the name of Charles Steinmetz. I feel privileged to have the opportunity to identify the fact that magnetics is that bridge, and how to use it can be taught in one day. So feel free to stop by, and I have literature and I answer questions. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Don. Kia Oro is up, and Janine Armstrong is on deck. And then Trenton Parker. Kia's up now.
Hi. All of a sudden, all these faces, huh? Okay. Some of you know me. My name's Kia Oro, and I do readings here. I started out with palm reading in the mid-'80s, and since then, for any of you who've ever done readings professionally, you will know that your psychic ability can increase. So what's happened, very interestingly, along with my palm reading, is in my psychic work, after taking a few classes with Gordon Michael Scallion, and then another psychic who was here, and I don't remember her name, what happened to me was I started picking up numbers. And it's very helpful right now in that, for instance, the really big question is usually about relationships. I've had more questions about relationships lately. Do I move on, for instance, from the relationship I'm in? I've just met somebody. What's the relationship going to be like? What I can do is I can pick up in you, for instance, the person you're with, if you want to know about them, this person you've just met, or your own mate right now, if you'd like to know anything about them. If you have a loved one, for instance, a brother, a sister, whoever, who is going through a hard time, I can pick them up for you and tell you about them. Also, if you're selling your house, I can pick up the number of months, for instance. I will get a number, how long it will take to sell that home. Okay? These are some of the types of things that people are asking me right now. A lot of people, too, you know, in the Celestine prophecy, it talks so much about the restlessness we're going through. I've psychically picked up that we're moving through like a tunnel right now, and that's why we're feeling kind of, some of us are feeling very stuck. It's like we're moving through a tunnel of time and we can't see out. And all we need to do is be very patient to get through this kind of stuck feeling or this pressed feeling we're in. It is going to change, but we just have to be real patient. And again, it's causing in some of us a restlessness. It's causing in some of us a feeling of boredom. It's feeling, you know, there's different feelings going inside of us. And one of the things I'm getting in this restlessness is that we also have to make changes. And of course we are, according to the prophecy, we are rising to new spiritual levels. But in that rising, we get this rumbling inside that it's time for us to make changes. So I get questions like people are literally changing from one profession into a totally new profession in their lives. They feel this sense of moving forward, but they can't quite get it where they're supposed to go or what this new profession is supposed to be for them. So I help people with that in progressing. And it's the same with relationships. People are making changes in relationships. And it seems somewhat of a painful time out there. I know in the last couple of months, I've had readings with people who have been together for long periods, over 20 years, and relationships are changing and they're breaking up and people are going on. So it's a real interesting time, and of course it's all for the better, and I feel it's very important to remember that as we're all going through these things. But these are the sorts of things I do. I also do tarot for those who are interested in tarot versus the palm reading. I always add psychic to the reading. I also do past lives psychically. I can pick up where you've been. I don't hypnotize, but I can pick up psychically where you've been. I also do dream analysis. My rates are $10 for every 15 minutes. So it's $10, 15 minutes, $20 for half an hour, $40 for an hour. I'm in the northeast corner back there. If you're not comfortable reading in the crowd, we can find a place outside of the room here, and I can give you a reading outside of here, okay? Okay, and thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Kia. Janine Armstrong is up, Trenton Parker on deck, Paula Marlette after that.
Hi, my name is Cecily Armstrong. This is my mom, Janine. Before I begin, what I'd like to have everybody do is look straight up at the ceiling and make a really goofy face. Nobody can see you. Smile, you could laugh, giggle. The energy of, come on. If you're looking at me, you're not looking at me. Okay, what we do, we're here representing New Ways International. It's a company committed to producing products with no harmful ingredients. The man who owns the company, Tom Maurer, is a research scientist. He's been researching the research, do no animal testing, all natural products. We have products here available today ranging from cosmetics, personal care systems, shower stuff, shaving gels, dental work, dental systems, all kinds of nutritional products, and an incredible weight loss program right now that's just come out. So we invite you to come back and visit us. We're in the far corner on the left side of the room. I guess that would be your right. And thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Trenton Parker is next, Paula Marlette, and then Byington Sims.
Hello there. My name's Trenton Parker. I'm the president of the Great American Party. How many people saw me speak last year at Gunther Roosbacher's? Okay. Aside from being the president of the Great American Party, last year it was disclosed finally, I was also Colonel Trenton H. Parker, Marine Naval Counterintelligence agent working with the CIA, and I was the one that disclosed much of the information that is found in Rodney Stitch's book regarding the Medellin cartel, which I was involved in. And also last year, for those who were here, remember that I was mentioning about drugs being smuggled into Mena, Arkansas, because I was there. Anyway, we came in under dread of night, myself and Stu Webb, and then we left thereafter and went into hiding. The net result is the Great American Party has been put together by some of the best political minds in this country who are interested in taking this country back. If you saw the Clinton Chronicles and you find yourself somewhat disgusted, I can assure you, you did not see everything. The Great American Party is a new political party. It has had some major successes in some relatively short periods of time. One of the major successes, which you here in Colorado and other places in the nation have not heard, has to do with Mr. Michael Benn, who heads the Impeach Clinton campaign. I spent 9 days with Michael. Michael has signed up with the Great American Party. He's collected 17 million signatures. He averages, because I counted them the 9 days I was staying with him and Carol, Between 35 and 60,000 signatures are coming in just to him. He has 3,000 state organizers. He has 600 independent political organizations with 50,000 small businesses. Ross Perot offered him virtually the keys to the kingdom. He is now the chairman of the Great American Party in Texas, and he is going to be running for President of the United States. We have collected over 127 of Ross Perot's groups. We've collected 27 of We the People groups. There is a major political announcement regarding what has happened today here at this convention regarding Colorado. I am not going to tell you what that is. Someone else is going to have the pleasure. I wished I could have the pleasure of announcing this major decision in Colorado. But somebody else will be coming up here to announce that decision. We welcome that person with open arms to this platform. One of the reasons that this party is of particular interest, and the reason why it is growing at overwhelming proportions across this country, especially in Texas, California, and New York, is because we have a program that has been designed. Bo Greitz called it the other day as if it had been designed right out of Langley. He didn't realize Bo is a tremendous individual, a fine American, and I'm going to be hopefully meeting with Bo here shortly. But one of the things that's unique about this party is that if you are a recruiter for the first time, this is a membership party, it is a political party, it is a national party. Our recruiters are earning anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 a year, okay? We're basing that on the going rate, and it's because our membership is $25 a year. Our membership starts at $14. We are taking our children back. They pay $12.50. This is a very unique program. We have a complete package for anybody who is interested. I don't care what you buy, but here is a basic package. It is the only political party, and we do have the copies of the bylaws of the other political parties. It is the only political party that gives a copy of its bylaws to everybody and makes them readily available. We have a 40-point platform. This is a $5 package. We encourage you to buy it and read it. If you do not like it, after you get back, come back, return it to us. We'll give you back your $5. Thank you.
Thank you, Trenton. Some of us believe in impeaching the president, and we think her husband ought to go too. Paula Marlette is up, and then Byington Sims, and Linda Eldon, be ready.
Hi, I'm Paula.
And I'm Astasia.
And at our booth, we are demonstrating and selling several different biosonic repatterning devices similar to this one. And we have individual sessions up in our room. We also have other vibrational, energetic what are they anyway? We have other products for sale also. We have local flower essences and flower essences
Just made for us yesterday.
just made yesterday, right? And flower essences from the Matrix Garden in New Hampshire from Cynthia Keys, and some moldavite and high energy jewelry, and some really nice pendulums.
That are made out of pirate silver off the ocean floor from a 17th century wreck. Each one is individually hand blown, surrounded by glass, and we'll have lots of those tomorrow. She's sewing the bags tonight.
Yep.
Basically, with the tuning, all the sounds, we're all sound, and basically I believe that the healing of the future is light and sound. And with the tuning forks, you're actually able to bring your central nervous system back into rebalance. Since April, I've been doing lots and lots of treatments, and most people cry, go totally out, go into deep relaxation, or have an out-of-the-body experience almost every single time. So basically, you can learn to hear these sounds by using the tuning forks and being able to make the sound with your own voice, and at any point bring yourself back into balance.
And there's several different products, and you can do it for yourself or do it for your friends.
Okay, thank you, Astasia. Did I call Byington Sims next? Yeah. Okay, hustle up there. Linda Eldon is ready next after him, and then James and Janet Meisinger.
I've recently discovered that...
You better speak up or they won't ever hear you.
I have recently proven that the human body has the capability of total self-regeneration. In fact, every time you have an injury, that system kicks in to heal the wound.
Can't hear you.
Every time you have an injury, that system kicks in to heal the wound, but unfortunately it shuts off as soon as it's patched the wound with scar tissue, which is just undifferentiated cell mass. And what happens is the body switches polarity from a positive polarity to a negative polarity to make the healing process work, and then the polarity goes back. So I've got a device that hot wires it, so to speak, to keep that self-regeneration system going in effect. And so the scar tissue never stays that way. It restructures into the original pattern. I've got another device here. It's a ELF device, and people that are moderately sensitive can feel a sensation somewhere in their body, and it can be in their feet or in their back or whatever. So I will turn it on. Anybody feels a sensation, raise their hand. Okay, we got one over here. I'm going to change the frequency slightly and see if more people can feel it. Okay, you got another one over there. Another one over there, okay. And now, the next demonstration is I can put crystals in this device and it'll amplify and transmit the crystal vibrations. And do you feel the difference? Okay, now I'll put a different crystal, and this is a fluorite crystal that I just put in. Now I'll put an amethyst in. Do you feel that?
I don't know yet.
Okay, and then I have another rock. I'm not sure what this is called. I think it's a type of quartz. Okay, do you feel that one? So the possible applications of this device is one for prospecting. Let's say you're looking for gold. Well, you would put gold sample in the device and learn how it feels, and then you'd have a transmitter with a directional antenna, and you'd scan an area, and then you'd feel the reflection. Another application would be for healing. Those people that use gemstones for healing purposes could use it, and it would propagate the energy over a distance and increase the effectiveness of the healing. So I've got my electrobiotic devices, the regeneration devices, for sale. This device is still experimental, so I haven't put it on the market yet. So I'm still doing tests and research on it to see what all it'll do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Byington Sims, Linda Eldon, and James and Janet Meisinger. Ken Lesser would be the next one.
Hi, I'm Linda Eldon. I'm a massage therapist, and I'm doing on-site massage here at the Global Sciences. It's a seated massage, and it addresses your back, your shoulders, your arms, your head, and that kind of thing. It's something that's done fully clothed, and do it right here. I'm over on the east wall. It's you know, as you get tired sitting in the chairs all day, you might want to come see me. 15 minutes is about $10, and I do 5 minutes for 4, or any combinations. So that's about it.
Okay, thank you, Linda. James and Janet Meisinger, Ken Lesser, and then Henry Curtis.
Okay. Hi, I'm Janet. I thought I'd start this tonight because I just came to me very strongly. I started a little paper a few months ago because I didn't believe you people were getting the truth. How many people think they're getting the truth in the major media? Well, there's no hands at all. Wow, we got a real intelligent group here. But anyway, this cover came to me very intuitively. And it was brought to me by a friend. I was struggling with what am I going to put on my first issue, and I'm going to read it to you, okay? This is from Chief Joseph. Let me be a free man, free to travel, free to stop, free to work, free to trade where I choose, free to choose my own teachers, free to follow the religion of my fathers, free to think and talk and act for myself, and I will obey every law or submit to the penalty. How many of you are feeling that way? Okay, so that was my first issue, and I'm thankful for Chief Joseph and his wise words. And I know that the grandfathers are with us, and he's here. Another grandfather that's with us is on my, I don't have a second issue, I sold out on that, but Albert Einstein. And this issue covered the New Energy Symposium. There's a lot of things going on out there, folks, that are just so uplifting. The scientists that are working on free energy devices and so on. I'm not going to take a lot of time talking to you here. You can come to my table and talk to me. But I have a lot of things back there. I've been learning the real law. I've been led by Spirit to get involved in that. And from that, I've really learned that I am sovereign. And so it's a very good thing for those of you that are led in that direction. And some of us are led in not too pleasant a way, it seems as though. But I thank my enemies for teaching me that I am sovereign.
Have I got a minute left? That's usually when I follow Jan. There's very little time left. I've got the pepper gas, the self-defense items. And I've been telling you all that they're very effective and very strong. This is an inert gas. Ah, boy, everybody woke up on that one. This is a very, very unique item. The reason I like it is because it gives the offender, whether it's animal, human being, or anything else, another attempt, because this only lasts 30 to 40 minutes, and it's a second chance. I really believe in this, and I think it's something that is necessary in some of our areas today. Have a great evening. Have a great conference.
Thank you, Jim and Janet. Ken Lesser. Ken Lesser is up, Henry Curtis, and Laura Engel after Henry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ken Lesser. So proud to be here. This conference to me is quite a unique experience. For me, part of my life is about regaining freedom, personal freedom in my relationship with myself, and then a larger scope of freedom. Freedom to live in a neighborhood, to live in a city, to live in a state, in a country where human values are high, where people's personal freedoms are high. How many of you at this conference have noticed that a lot of those freedoms have been taken away? Can I see a raise of hands? Okay. Yeah. A lot of what we're about, I hope, is regaining those personal freedoms. One of the things that I've noticed as I go to talk to people is that there's a high level of stress. Any of you've noticed that perhaps deliberately or at best accidentally, that people are what I call stressed to the max or in a state of overwhelm? Any of you noticed that? That you try to share with people some of the things about things that are going on and they have the hardest time listening or block it because it's a little too much for them to deal with? Well, I've noticed that. Out of my own desire to be more effective in the world, to raise my energy level, to be of service at a deeper level, to help the causes which are so dear to our hearts, I was guided to a simple plan. Raise people's energy with the minimal intrusion into their lives. Doesn't that make sense if you think about it? If you give someone a little more energy, if you give them an opportunity to be more effective in their lives, what you have is a person that then can hear some of the truth, some of the realities that we're facing. They're not pretty, and yet we know if we deal with them, if we pull together, what happens is we get our country back, we get our lives back. Okay, that's a powerful statement. What have I done? Well, any of you heard of attention deficit disorder, ADD? Okay, yeah. I knew I was going to say something, but I forgot. No. Well, literally, if you've known me over the years, and a lot of you have, I had the hardest time getting my life together. Struggled. If you come over to booth 27, which will be just down from the Aura photos, which, of course, if you don't have one, by gosh, get one of those. What you'll see is a couple of different things. Claris devices, they come as digital clocks. You want to get materials about the Ally. You want to get materials about these Claris devices. They will neutralize stress from electrical fields. They will personally help you to transform your lives energetically. They are amazing. Come sit, hold them. Beyond that, we need fresh fruits and vegetables. I don't know if you've heard of Juice Plus. I look for simple things. It's raw fruits and vegetables in a gel cap. Why? Because the more fruits and vegetables we eat, the healthier we get. So I'm happy to be of service to you. I want to introduce these things to you gently. We've got a major purpose. We need to help each other. I am so thrilled to be here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ken. Henry Curtis up next. Laura Engel after Henry, and Gwen Kemp then.
Well, I'm Henry Curtis. Like many of you, a few years ago I realized that I was no longer part of the youthful generation, and
Well, you're in here someplace.
I wasn't quite as energetic
Good to
as
see
I
you.
thought I'd like to be. And about 2 years ago I started taking a product called Mineral Toddy, which is simply a natural product with 60 minerals in it. They're absorbed very well by the body. I feel better. A lot of the people I've told about it feel better. So come on back to my booth and we can talk about it. Thank you.
We're here. Okay, Laura Engel is next. Thank you, Henry. Gwen Kemp. Then be ready, and then Patricia Manitou. Is anybody back there? Are you alone back there, Henry? Okay, am I calling the wrong people? Gwen Kemp, Patricia Manitou, Diana Christian. Where are we? Okay, hot-footed up there right now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gwen Kemp, and I'm here from Atlanta, Georgia, enjoying my 7th Global Science Congress. And it's so wonderful to be here and see all you familiar faces back. I love the way this energy keeps attracting the same people and additional people of the same high frequency. It's just one of the most exciting things I do in my lifetime, actually, but from 6 months to 6 months as we have the Global Science Congress. I'm here with the Aura equipment. Everyone refers to it as the Aura camera, but it's actually computer equipment. And I'm doing Aura photography. It's equipment that's been developed through a group called Berkeley Scientific, and it takes very elementary computer technology. There's a box by the chair as you sit down. That's a PC, computer. The key is in the software. Once you place your hand on the computer, it takes a scan of your electromagnetic energy field. That becomes data going through the system. The energy imprint is literally applied to the film. I also take a photograph of you, and it's replicating the way your aura appears. This is part of the technology that is really in the research aspects of bringing this into video. So that we can see how the aura flexes and breathes and expands, and how you respond to medication or therapy or treatments or whatever is their goal in developing this. Typically, in any event I have the equipment set up, I charge $20 for photographs, but at Global Science only charge $10 for photographs. And part of that is because with the time scenario with 10-minute breaks, and there's really not time for the type of reading that I give someone when I can spend more time with each individual. But also, I'm not doing the psychic readings that a lot of people are talking about today. I just simply talk about the meaning of color as it relates on the physical, the emotional, the mental, and many times the spiritual implication is so obvious, you know. So I will be giving away a photograph at 8 o'clock in the morning each morning as we collect here and begin the day. So there'll be photographs given, complimentary. I'm also giving Dave Pankrat's books, which are Curlian photography for the layman. And if anyone's interested in it, it's a gift. It's not unconditional. It requires a telephone call to thank Dave Pankrat's for making these available. His number is in the front cover of the book. And I don't have Byington Sims gold devising, gold dowsing device, but I have found gold. The American Gold Eagle coin, I have information on how you can use $60 to literally earn $9,200 worth of American Gold Eagle coins, plus $520 worth of commission, and this is real. If you're interested in it, I have these flyers back, and you're welcome to pick them up. When you read the flyer, if you have questions about it, I'd be very happy to talk to you about this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gwen. Patricia Manitou and Diana is next, then Diana Christian.
Hello, my name is Pamela Manitou. This is Mystic Mac, my partner. I do a series. I'm a born healer. I work on your energy field and am a conscious channel. We get information from past lives, whether you've taken care of yourself the past week, what issues and answers from as far back as you want to go to as present, and what you might want to do about them. I use a series also of ancient oracles, which I guarantee you I do not know what is in those books, but my channeled readings always use the same language, symbols, and signs as the guidance that we're giving, that we are given through those books. This is my mystic partner, Miss Mac, who also does readings. She will introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her.
Well, I do psychic readings. I read tarot cards. I do psychometry. For those who don't know what psychometry is, I just take an object of yours, which could be keys, a ring, or something that you own personally, and I get information off of it. I also have products. I sell incense, tarot card boxes. I have vitamins that are raw jellied, which are made from natural honey that are good for you and give you energy. I have Egyptian stuff, pyramids, ankhs, and I'm at the first booth. All I have to do is turn around and look at it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Diana Christian, are you up there? And Reverend Tabiti next, and then Greg Storazuk, and then John Schlosser.
Hello. How many folks here enjoy global sciences? Me too. I thought if you enjoy global sciences, you might also enjoy the International Association of New Science Conference, which is next month in Fort Collins, September 14th through 18th. And I have a booth in the back that half of it is letting you know about that conference and who all is speaking. I'm a little out of breath. Let me just tell you some of the folks that you can hear from at that conference next month. Jacob Lieberman, Linda Moulton-Howe, Sherry Edwards, Stephen Greer, Doug Richards, Ted Rockwell, Brian O'Leary, Deborah Rose, Stan McDaniel, David Hudson, and William Baldwin. Some of those names might mean something to you. Some of them might not. Come back and see me. I'm near the magnetic water tower, and I can tell you a little bit about it. The other half of the booth is my newsletter, Growing Community, which is about intentional communities. Do you know anybody who has mentioned to you in recent years they're interested in starting or joining an intentional community? Any hands? There's quite a lot of interest, considering that a few years ago nobody cared. So I have a newsletter designed to help people know how to form such a community, how not to reinvent the wheel. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. I don't see Reverend Tabiti up here, I don't believe. Greg Storzuk then would be next, and Carol Dennis would be after that.
Hi. Good evening. My name is Greg Storzuk. I'm a professional dowser, and I am set up in booth number 5 all the way in the back. Those of you, I've been asked quite a few questions like, I thought you needed to use wood, or I thought only such and such would work, and this is not true. The equipment that I sell is nothing more than an amplification of the power that you already possess. It's already up here in your own mind. This is the dowsing tool right up here, and it's what needs to be trained. What you hold in your hand is nothing more than a little amplifier. So I hope you come back, talk to me. Stuff is cheap too, anywhere between $1 and $10. So that's the most expensive thing I sell. Also, there was a speaker this morning, Ken was speaking about survival, and I put out a single-paged, laminated, 3-hole punched sheet on how to douse a water well. And this is just using a nice little pair of inexpensive L-rods. So if you're interested, come on back and see me. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Carol Dennis, Virgil Armstrong, and John Schlosser.
Hi, my name's Carol Dennis, better known as Rainbow Lady. In 1987, walking down the beach in Clearwater, Florida, I began hearing scientific concepts that I didn't know anything about. I'd be given paragraphs of information that I would write down and then go to the library and find word for word in quantum physics books, physiology books, and medical textbooks. My book, Colorology, is the result of the information I received telepathically and then verified through science and medicine. It's a very simplified scientific approach to why you respond the way you do physically and emotionally to color, and then very practical, simple ways to use it. If you've been looking for a simple, easy book to use it and learn about color, this is the one that can help you with that. Thank you. I also have a rainbow meditation that takes you through each color, and you breathe in the color, and you imagine the fragrance and gemstone and bring all of your senses into it, and then you sing the musical note that's vibrating at that frequency. It's a fantastic balancing tool for you. I also do color readings. I believe that we all have a life color, that we each come in, we choose a particular parent who will create particular DNA, who will create a particular frequency that you will experience certain things with in your life and have learned certain lessons. And I use a pendulum to determine what that life color is. Then I measure the energy centers to see what's happening in your life right now, physically and or emotionally, and then I can tell you about yourself. And you'll be amazed all the different things I can tell you from that information. In trying to understand what happened to me in 1987, I have gone about searching and trying to understand that in all sorts of various things. One of them is the UFO phenomenon. In 91, I guess, I went on top of a mountain and I took 120 UFO books and magazines and I read 15 hours a day for 3 months. And I used my computer and I put in the date, the subject, the book, the page number, and then what happened. There are over 1,000 listings chronologically, and it's all various things that happened throughout history. It's the history you wish you would have read in school, the real stuff that was going on. All sorts of government cover-ups and medical cover-ups, weird things that have happened in space, abductions, sightings, crop circles, all kinds of various information. And it's real interesting to see the patterns that fell from that. Then another book I wrote is in conjunction with Robin Quayle, who's a hypnotherapist from Atlanta. And the book is called Prodigies, Extraterrestrial Telepathic Intelligence Phenomenon. And through Robin's research in hypnosis, she found a lot of people who told the same story. It was about people who had contact with extraterrestrials as children and became geniuses. They did things like work for NASA when they were 5 years old, invent free energy motors and all sorts of interesting things. And so I have that book. What we discovered during this research was something very interesting, something called the vanishing twin phenomenon. 75% of the women diagnosed with twins only deliver one baby. 2 in 75 people actually begin life as twins. What's happening to all those babies? Well, we found out that many of the prodigies were twins, were supposed to have been twins or have a lot of twins in their family. And so I've continued to research and study that subject. I have another book out called Are Extraterrestrials Affecting Human Intelligence, which is is a continuation of that, has all the information I could find on the vanishing twin phenomenon. I also have a new video and the audio off from it. It's an overview of the UFO phenomenon and my research with the prodigies and our extraterrestrials affecting human intelligence. And my mom says it's the best thing I ever did, so for that, whatever that's worth. So thanks. Come back and see me, and I'd love to talk to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Carol. Virgil Armstrong and John Schlosser next. Gay Street after that.
Good evening. My name is Virgil Armstrong, and I'm here primarily to introduce George Guidi. George Guidi will be here in the future when I cannot, because I mostly work in Europe. I spend 8 months of the year in Europe as an international lecturer, author, teacher, reader, etc., etc. George is an old friend of mine, has been for 20 years. He's now my agent, and I wanted to make sure that you see him personally. I have a booth, number 9, I believe it is, in the far end of the room. I have tapes, audio, and of course video, and books and other things you might be interested in. I've been on the path for 25 years. I'm known as a messenger of mankind, and I have a lot to say. My latest tape, incidentally, for your interest, is the Jupiter impact and what it means to us. In other words, you and I. It's mind-blowing. Get it if you can. George, would you like to say a word?
Only thank you for the opportunity to be here. We're here to be of service, and let's get it on.
Thank you, gentlemen. John Schlosser, Gay Street, and then the person who replaced Vince Olivia. I forgot the name.
Good evening. I'm John Schlosser, and how many of you have listened to KHNC radio in the last year? I was news director up there for the USA Patriot Network until I got elected as the coordinator of the Colorado militia by a group of people who wanted to get that started. We've been getting that started. We've got anywhere from 800 to 1,000 people who are very, very interested in doing that. Here is the political announcement that my friend Trenton Parker in the back there was talking about. We spent all afternoon talking about the fact that we who are in the freedom movement, we who are interested in taking this country back, have got to unify, and we've got to work together. Must. Very much going with Ben Franklin's quote, that we must hang together because otherwise we will assuredly all hang separately. And what our intention was when we started the militia was to have primarily a service group, a group of people who would work to serve and to protect our families, our community, our county, our state, and our nation. Well, Trenton's organization has something very, very similar to that, and so we're going to be urging those interested in the militia to tie in with it. Because if we work together, we can make a lot of things turn around. And I think it's important that we do that. What I've got back there at my little booth, along with, I've got some of the Great American Party materials, and I'm pleased to say that as a result of our discussions today, I've been asked to be the adjutant of the Colorado chapter of the Great American Party, and I'm pleased to accept the position. But I've also got some information back there, which is very, very good for those of you who have friends and relatives and loved ones who don't know much about the freedom movement and who you feel they need to know. Some eye-opening, wake-up call stuff back there that will wake them up to some of the truth that's out there. Just simple, plain truth that they're not going to hear from the mainstream media. A lot of the stuff is stuff that I picked up working at the radio station, and also subsequent things that I picked up since then. But little things like Janet Reno's definition of a cult. I imagine there's quite a few cultists in this room tonight. I could even read that very briefly. A cultist is one who has a strong belief in the Bible and the second coming of Christ, who frequently attends Bible studies, who has a high level of financial giving to a Christian cause, who homeschools his children, who has accumulated survival foods and has a strong belief in the Second Amendment, and who distrusts big government. Any cultists in here besides myself tonight? Stuff you need to know. If you go to church and you've got a pastor, put that in his hand and say, congratulations, you're a cult leader. Several little quotes in here. an excerpt from the questionnaire that's been sent out to your active duty military people. The most shocking question that was on there was, if there was a ban put on firearms and there were citizens who refused to turn in the banned firearms, would you fire on U.S. citizens? I've got an original copy of it, but I don't put that out in any of my information because it has the two-word obscenity scrawled in big black magic marker across it, and that's the way they sent it back. So not too many of our active duty personnel out there are willing to do that. I'm pleased to know that. Some information on the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. Any parents or grandparents in here? You need this. And you need to hand it to every parent and grandparent you know, so that your children don't become wards of the state. There's a lot of people in here apparently with concern on the environment. We've got information on that as well, and we've also got photographs of the helicopters. Anybody in here seen black helicopters? And then I'll get off. Well, now you can know what they are. Normally I would sell this for $10. Tonight, $4. Not a bad deal. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Gay Street and the person who replaced Vince Olivia, and then Al Bielek.
Hello, my name is Gay, and over here, why? Because I'm short. Boy, I'm not prepared for this because I didn't know I was doing this till a couple of minutes ago. My booth is back on the far left, and what I have brought with me is flower essences and some herbal infused oils. I live on the back of Pikes Peak at 10,000 feet in the woods, and I just play around with the flowers and the nature spirits, and I've been working with about over 50 flower essences that I made with individual clients, doing blending essences together for them. But back in October, I got this inspiration that I should put 12 blended essences together to try to get them out on the market. And I've been fighting it ever since October. I keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And I think I was fighting it because I really didn't want to go into the business of filling bottles and putting them in boxes and stuff. But after some channeled insight from a dear friend, I was given a push, and I was told that I had to get them out on the market now. So here they are, here today, and I'm kind of excited about it in a way. It's been a lot of fun working with it and putting together. So they're all done on a Native American theme, and there's 12 different ones, and I've told they work together. So I had to go find boxes to put them in and package them, and so it's been a real 3D experience for me the last couple of weeks to get ready for the show. Do I still have to keep on talking? No. Oh, thank you, Avalon. So anyway, come back and see it. I'd love to tell you about the essences, and I have lots of pictures of the wildflowers that I love to take. And anyway, I'll just share it with you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Gay. This Daniel Jackson, Al Bielek, and is Renee Daniel in the room?
Good evening, everyone. You may recall, those of you here in Denver, I spoke to all of you November of last year, and this was regarding an absolutely incredible experience that I had, which I believe took me completely out of this dimension. It was, in a sense, like what many people were talking about, a near-death experience, but my body was safe. There was no danger to my physical body. And I was taken out of this dimension entirely. I described to all of you what that experience was like, and to the best of my ability, I described what it was like. Well, I'm here now today. I'm also with two people with the Pandora's Box Metaphysical Bookstore. They have been headquartered out in Lakewood at 20th and Wadsworth. We're relocating right now. We haven't found a new location, but we will be setting up in a new location in the fall, and I'm looking forward to running a new series of Samadhi activation workshops. We have a booth here just to my left. You'll find it right about the middle of the exhibit area, And among other things, I shared with all of you a compact disc recording that I created, which took about 9 months of research to put that together. Your response to that was tremendous when I first brought that here. We have additional copies of it available. Of course, we have other metaphysically oriented, spiritually oriented products, information. We have information on a solar oven. For those of you that would like to have more information about survival equipment, we have that kind of information with us too. So do come and pay us a visit during the next several days here. I'll be kind of rotating with Paul, Olivier, Vince Olivier, and myself. One of the three of us will be here kind of on a rotating basis. But if you'd like to know more about samadhi activation once again, and I'll be talking about the upcoming series of workshops and lectures that I'll be doing in the fall and winter, do come and see me over there about that. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Is Al Bielek around? Is he up there at all? Okay, Renee, Daniel, you're up. He's too slow. Get up, move on, Al, get up here. Carol Colby then is after him. Or her. Go ahead, Renee. Al's a long ways away. We can't wait for that.
As you know, my name is Renee Daniel, and I own a health food store, Naturally Food Store in Glenwood Springs. And about 8 years ago, the bottles started talking to me, and they said, she needs this, and she needs that. So I started pulling bottles off the shelves for people, and that was the beginning of my health readings. So tonight, this weekend, I'll be doing health readings, and I go through different foods that are good and bad for you. And I get into supplements and exercise and your psychic talents. And my belief system is that you have to be taking the right fuel. And you can be eating the right supplements, but if on a daily basis you're eating the wrong fuels, you're not running at a good level. So in addition to the health readings, I do flower essences. I work with 200 flower essences. And I also do cards and runes. And I'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Now we're going to have Al Swifty Bielek, Carol Colby, Judy Christensen.
Okay, my name is Al Bielek. I've been here before at many of the Global Sciences lectures. Basically, with the table I have in the back, we're covering conspiracies of silence. Namely, the silence of our government on various things that have happened in the past, such as the Philadelphia experiment, more recently the Montauk Project. Various things dealing with those aspects of suppressed information which really are vital to the information of the American public. You may wonder why a project which occurred 51 years ago, the Philadelphia experiment, might be important to you today. It's important for a very good reason. Not only does the government continue to deny that it ever happened, it was the most important project back in those days, which led to the development of many still hidden and covered projects, research programs, technologies today, which if you knew the facts, you probably would not believe. Because our government does have some very advanced scientific knowledge and technologies which have been held back from the public for the exclusive reserved reservation, if you will, of the government and those that they choose to have use those informations and those projects. We have many audio tapes and the books, and we will continue to research and to bring new information to you. Hopefully we'll be here the whole period of time, but hopefully tomorrow some other tapes will come in from a friend of mine on the West Coast who couldn't make it. And we'll have additional information. We deal also with the subject of UFOs, secret societies, and the suppression of information which those societies decide should be held only for their own use and those who they consider their elite members. There's a lot that has been hidden the media will not touch. Occasionally the media do delve into these areas, but it's very surreptitiously and very seldom that you see that any of these informations are covered. As a side here, I've tried many times to get the story out through the main media of the Philadelphia experiment. Cable TV will give me time, But none of the major television media, none of the major networks will give it any coverage whatever, either for myself, for Preston Nichols, or any other people who have been involved with these projects. There seems to be a flurry of interest for a period of time that may run a few days to a few weeks. Then suddenly these people become silent, and you never hear from them again. And if you try to call them and find out why, they won't even talk to you. So we'll be here the whole time. Come visit our table, and we'll tell you something of what we know, and you may like to buy some of our products. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Al. I don't see Carol Colby in the room, right? Judy Christensen, are you here? Doris Clark, James and Julie Whitley, Dwayne Eccles. Oh boy, we're making time now. Judith Parr, after Dwayne.
Good to be here again. Good to see old folks who we haven't seen in a long, long time. I saw some of you in Virginia. We had a great time there. Folks, we should be grateful to Dean and Phyllis, who put forth so much effort to do this for us. Let's give them a big hand, okay?
You might change your mind before this is over.
Never. There are many things happening. Have you noticed that everything is just speeded up, and there's so many things happening, and you just wonder, what happened to time? It seems like the other day we were in Virginia Beach. It doesn't seem that long, does it? So time has speeded up. So a lot of things is happening. One of the things that's happening is that some of us are starting to get a little older. We have a product back there called Forever Young. It's interesting. You take a pill in the morning, you take a pill in the evening. It makes a change in your body, and all of a sudden the wrinkles start going away. Weird, huh? Come back and talk to Cheryl. She knows all about this product. We're back in the corner back there, and we have a lot of products back there. One of the main products that I've been pushing as a naturopath doctor for several years is enzymes. It's a missing link to health. Another thing that will cause the aging to go down. If you don't have enzymes in your body, you get old, whether you like it or not. I can walk into a restaurant and sit down and tell you who's going to order vegetables and eat raw foods and who's going to sit there and eat cooked foods. And I've done it many, many times. Cooked foods have no enzymes in them. Your body is robbed of the enzymes. The metabolic enzymes are manufactured to keep you young, rebuild your cells, rebuild your body, are drawn back into your intestinal process, your digestive system, to digest your foods. Many of you remember Dr. Lawrence Perry, who's been with us, who's found that we've been blasted with many, many viruses that's affecting our health. I asked him personally, I says, what are you doing to protect your health? He says, I take enzymes. Think about it, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Dr. Judith Parr, and then Dion Reed and Pam Golden.
Hi, I'm in the back, very far back, northeast corner, underneath the IM chart. And I represent Peacock Publishing, and by mail order, and also in the back of the room, I carry the Saint Germain Green books. I carry Sai Baba books. I carry Yogananda books. I carry many of the classics. It's such a pleasure to hear over and over again, oh, that's my favorite book, you have it. And these are my treasures, and it's nice to have other people verify that. I also have my books, and I have my sacred geometry earrings. And I also have a few of Hannah Kroger's herbs back there. And I also have Oriflow, which is an oral chelation product that those of you 2 years ago who remember Officer Jack Lamb, he very much got me interested in the Oriflow and mentions that in his 8 and a Bit newsletter. Last year, I received a message to get ready for a writing. And in 13 consecutive days, for 15 to 20 minutes in each session, I began receiving this poem that is the upward climb of spiritual growth. And in fact, the title became The Upward Climb, an Epic Poem. And after 13 days of these 15-minute sessions, not only did I have a poem, but I had a poem of 268 verses that it continued in the story form. And I would just like to read just a start of what this is about. Look upward now, the upward path, the forward steps you seek at last are yours right now. Behold the jewel that you have earned in service way. My arms reach wide horizons bay, enfold you now each every day. You walk with me. The path is sure, you do trust me, you trust yourself. The way's been proven through many tests, many trials you've prepared yourself to prove your worth to me and you, your being polished, pure, and soundly true. The path of light, the path secure, the narrow steps will keep you sure. The narrow road has many bends, tough, sharpened stones to test your faith. You must point straight the steps you take, and one by one hazards abate. They fall away each one by one as you do claim the victor's crown. And now the road gets honed and smooth, the shadows sharp become pure light. But ne'er look back, forget the past. Each every look blocks wisdom's path. Just walk with me, our steps are one. Love's light for now is all we claim. Bright tomorrow, another day of love and grace that paves the way. Get ready now, we shall begin a long story of how to win, to overcome the mortal way, the quantum leap that all must make. You too can aid, can help some see, to give them hope, the promise be. The resurrection pledge we make to all who shed the human way. And now the steps that we shall take to pry the human doors awake. It takes one step, one at a time, to make the forward upward climb. So that's the first verses. And it's called, thank you. It's called The Upward Climb, an Epic Poem, and I've got lots of copies if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. Dion Reed, then Carol Colby has been found, and Pam Golden after that.
Maybe some of you have heard of a book called The Cure for All Cancers by Dr. Hulda Clark. She also wrote another book called The Cure for HIV and AIDS. It came out sometime late last year. She's a naturopath, a PhD from Canada. She's a researcher, and she spent 7 years researching cancer. She found that cancer is caused by basically two things, and she found this to be prevalent in every cancer patient that she tested. Parasites and propyl alcohol. And of course, parasites can be addressed by taking various combinations of herbs. There are 3 different herbs that she recommends in her book, and they take care of over 100 different types of parasites in the body. And as far as the propyl alcohol, she does give a list of products that you find propyl alcohol in, one of which is common everyday cold cereal, breakfast cereal. And there are many, for example, teas and fruit drinks in the market that have flavorings in them. And the propyl alcohol has been found in those products, but basically it comes from the flavoring agents that they add to the products themselves. But years ago, the Indians used to purge themselves of parasites, and we all have them, whether we like it or not, unfortunately. So in my way of thinking, it's a good program for anyone who wants to just detoxify and clean up their body. And if you do have cancer, and I have spoken with even several people here tonight, Jane Stillwell from LA, who had 3 biopsies of cancer positive, and she's done the program, and she's free of cancer now. I've had several other people also who have done the program who had cancer, who are getting better, and in fact, several people noticed that when they stopped doing, for example, the tincture from the green hull, the black walnut, they felt much worse. But it's a fairly comprehensive program that will last up to about 3 months' time. There's a maintenance program. There's a program for cleaning up your animals, your pets at home. And then she suggests that you look into your home environment. You get metals and toxins, heavy metals from your teeth removed. And the cost, of course, is quite nominal compared to going to California or to actually Tijuana. The clinics there charge anywhere from $6,000 on up. And the program that I have available along with the book is $81. So if you're interested, just come over to the far east aisle and I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Is Dion Reed up there? If not, Pam Golden is up. Then Clark Wallace.
Good evening. I'm Pam Golden. I'm an acupuncturist. I've spoken here at Global Science several times. In 1986, I went to Sri Lanka to learn acupuncture. And I found that they had discovered that a single frequency of light would travel through the meridians in the body. Now, the meridians are what the acupuncturists use to treat the body. And at that time, they were using cold lasers. The hot lasers do the cutting, and they do the surgeries with it. And someone had discovered or noticed that the cells right next to the incisions were healing very quickly. So they took a hot laser, Dr. Frederick Ploeg took a hot laser and pulled the power way, way back and started doing some experiments up on an Indian reservation in Prescott, Arizona. In 1988, I found one of his prototypes that he had sent to Sri Lanka for some research when I was there learning acupuncture, and I was just totally intrigued by this thing. In fact, I tell people I became a lightaholic. I just couldn't put this thing down. I started collecting research, and what we found was that you don't have to use a laser. Now, lasers are really expensive, like $15,000 to $40,000. What you can do is use the same frequency in a light that's non-coherent, which means it's not dangerous. The lasers, you have to be very careful. You can't use it in your eyes. You can overuse it. The light-emitting diode isn't dangerous. They have them everywhere. Now you see them in kids' shoes. You see them in toys. I have earrings that are LEDs. These things are not dangerous, and they're really incredible as tools for the lay individual. I've worked with this exclusively for 6 years now, and a lot of you here have heard a lot of my talks and a lot of the research that I have on it. Right now, I carry, along with the lights that I've been carrying before, the light shaker and the tri-light, the Native American Indians. I grew up in Arizona on an Indian reservation, and I'm really happy to tell you that a lot of the elders are not happy with all the gaming that they're bringing into the reservation, all the gambling. And they've decided for the first time, now I've been around these people like 27 years, and they've decided that they do want jobs now. They don't want more gaming. So they have taken on a project for me of creating a more powerful LED. This one is now 15,000 millicandles strong. It's called the Native Ray. The last LEDs I've been dealing with were 8,000 millicandles, so we're almost double the power. And this thing is phenomenal. The response in the body is much quicker. We get results with pain in like 5 minutes. You can feel a major shift in pain. We've had a lot of results with burns and let's see what else. Cold sores and whiplash and a lot of any kind of skin rashes, this type of thing, along with the fact that you can use the light in place of needles on yourself. So in other words, you can put the light on your acupuncture points to build your own immune system. Now, already speakers today have talked about the fact that we have to take the bull by the horns. We have to be responsible for our own health. We have to build our own immune systems. And I'd love to invite you back to the booth. If you have any kind of pain at all, come back to the booth, number 38 back here, and I'll give you a free treatment and see what you can feel. See if you notice any changes. Most people do. And we'll talk about it some more. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Clark Wallace. Rob Friedenstein, and Joe McCluskey, in that order.
Hi, I'm Clark Wallace, and what I have back here are pure and natural herbs. Nothing has ever been done to them other than what I do to them. I collect them, most of them wild. The ones that I don't collect wild, I get them from other people that I know have collected them wild. There's never been any chemicals put on them. They've never gone through any manufacturing process. I have the herbs by themselves. I also have them in herbal mixtures for various ailments. I have them for sinus problems, for arthritis, and they all work very well. I have one for weight loss. And the most important herb that I have of all is ginseng. I have wild American ginseng, which is very hard to get. The ginseng that you see in the health food stores is usually either Korean ginseng or Chinese ginseng. It's 4 to 5 years old. It's had chemicals put on it, and it just isn't. It's better than nothing, but it's not really good. The ginseng I have is at least 10 years old. When I dig the roots, if they're less than 10 years old, I'll replant them there and get them another day. I have been up on top of a mountain as a hermit for 15 years. I have studied herbs, and I know herbs. I know what each herb will do to the human body. I've got herbs that'll make you sleep. I've got herbs that'll make you want to tap dance. It just depends upon what you need. I've got a natural herb for it. Come back and see me. I'm right on the other side of the bookstore. Thank you.
Thank you, Clark. Rob Friedenstein has decided to go straight to the top. You'll hear from Holly Friedenstein. Joe McCluskey next, Elaine Bittner after that.
Hi, I'm Holly Friedenstein. I'm Rob's wife. We're from New Horizons. We're at the booth at the very back. He got called out on a phone call, so you get to have to put up with me for a few minutes. We've been at every global conference there has been. We've chased Dean all over the place. It seems like Virginia, Florida, out here, and we like them. We enjoy the people that we meet. A lot of you we see every year, and you're just as faithful as we are, and we appreciate that. We're a mail order business, mostly for alternative health products, both in supplements and things of instrumentations, including a radionic instrument and isopathic instruments and that type of thing. We also teach classes on the radionic instrument, the SE5. Rob will be teaching the class next week. This is a size book that you can go through in 1 week. It has been revised. If you've had a class with him in the last few years, since that time it's been revised. A lot of new information's coming out. He tries to keep you updated. It's a 6-day, 5-night class, and we will be teaching it here in Denver right after the conference next week. If anybody's interested, there's still room for a few to sign up for it. A lot of you have been asking about our catalogs. We do have a mini catalog coming up. It's back there. You're welcome to come by and get one. It's not a complete catalog. We just can't seem to keep up with our products anymore. One of the new things he did want me to talk to you about that we cannot keep in stock at all is the planetary balance and the local harmony. The planetary balance works on the energies of your house. The negative energies of your house helps balance that out. The local harmonies, you put one in the corners of your property, on the outside of your property. It works on the negative energies coming from the ground. You can get the planetary balance, you can get it framed or not framed, matted or not matted. And it varies in prices, but it's very, very economical. To many of the other things that are out there, they work. We have people get them and they say, I've got to have more. I want them at my office. I want them at my, my summer house. I want them for my mother because I can't stand going over there. They just carry them all over the place, and the price is right. So come back and see us. We've got lots of products back there. We have lots of information. If you don't understand anything about our products, we've got a lot of printed information. You're welcome to come back and ask us the questions. We'd love to talk to you.
Thank you, Holly. Joe McCluskey, Elaine Bittner, and Bob Peters.
Good evening. This is my first Global Sciences Congress. However, CellTech products have been represented here for several years. I'm in booth number 2, and I've been listening since about 8:30 this morning, or watching and listening. And I've noticed that many speakers and exhibitors have been bringing up dietary concerns. And a little bit about myself is that in 1976, I changed my name and joined a commune and lived there for 7 years. And it was a very fundamental lifestyle. And there was a period in that time when we were 400 total people, and we were infected by a hepatitis virus or what have you. So I know what it's like to be sick in mass. And it's ugly. So now a lot of people are talking about enzymes and acidophilus and fresh vegetables and growing your own food and all that kind of stuff. And right now I kind of feel a sense of complacency and even some fear. But recently in Newsweek they mentioned that there are a few viruses out there, or actually more than a few, that we have no defense against right now. Right? Antibiotics are kind of outmoded at this point, right? So I just wanted to bring that to focus, and then I want to tell you that TeslaTech is distributing a high-quality line of enzymes with the world's most powerful food mixed in. TeslaTech is distributing a high-quality line of acidophilus with the world's most powerful food mixed in. And TeslaTech is distributing CoQ10 with the world's most powerful food mixed into that. And that world's most powerful food is a phenoxymenon floss aqua, and it's growing in Klamath Lake, Oregon in abundance. And if you'd like to hear more about that, please come back and meet me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Elaine Bittner and Bob Peters.
Well, it's good to see all these faces. This year we have a booth, and instead of doing crystals and some of the things that I've done in the past years, we are presenting biblical essential oils. There's 188 references in the Holy Bible that talks about oils. I'm sure that we've all read about somebody anointed somebody or somebody washed somebody's feet. Have we? Yeah, right. Okay. Well, the reason they do that, especially wash the feet, is because your pores in your feet are the largest pores in the body. And when you're using specific oils, such as maybe frankincense or myrrh or cypress is good for blood circulation. And frankincense is antibiotic and antiviral. So what they were doing is doing healing. And so that's what we're presenting this year is healing oils. I've had a lot of personal happenings with the oils. For instance, 2 people that were in the intensive care, we took the oils in, and I had the wives rub the feet of their husbands. And what happened was in 3 minutes, all the little changes on the monitors, and the doctors came in, the nurses, and they were wondering, what are we doing? And, well, they just couldn't understand it, but this man who was supposed to be in the hospital for 3 weeks left 3 days later walking without a catheter and without the oxygen. So that was pretty phenomenal. Just little things like my dog, we sent him off to get a hair clip, and he came back scratching. The first time I sent him with a shampoo that had the oils in it, lavender shampoo, and he didn't come back scratching. He was a happy little dog, so we had to wash him again. So just simple things like that. And we're in the back there. I also have some feng shui books. If anybody didn't get one last year, feng shui helps you balance yourself, balance your home, and balance your environment. So that's what we have. And I have to say something, and I think a lot of you know that this evening that we're going to have the wedding reception, and my husband now, we met here at Global Science in one of the 4-hour classes, and we kind of looked at each other a little, and then we went to a couple of different clubs, Dowsers and Global Science, and I don't know, all of a sudden he said, do you want to get married? And I said, yes. And so we got married a month ago. And tonight we'll be having the reception following the last speaker. So you're all able to come, and we'll be having some dancing and some enjoyment. So anyway, we're going to break down our booth this evening. But tomorrow we'll be over by the exit sign on that sign. And come on over and sniff some oils with us. Okay.
Thank you, Elaine. A couple more there. Master Lynn is next, and then Mary Hardy.
Hi, I'm Master Lynn, and I'm from New York. This is my first time here at Global Science. And what I do is I'm a healer, and I heal through the ancient art of shiatsu. And many of you know that that's balancing out the body and emotions by using the channeling your energies through the meridian lines. I've been doing shiatsu for the past 5 years, and I've been fortunate enough to have clients with a great deal of dis-ease in their body. Some of my clients range from professional athletes, people who have nerve damage, hip replacements due to arthritis, cancer patients. I've worked at the Manhattan Center for Living, which caters to people with chronic illnesses such as cancer, HIV, and AIDS. And I am here to offer my services. I have limited time for sessions if you're interested in scheduling. If you're stressed out or suffering from any problems with respiratory, digestive, or circulatory problems, we'll be able to help you. The session is going to be an hour long with a mini consultation, and it'll be held in my room, which is 511. If you don't see me on the exhibition floor, you can call me to make an appointment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Master. And then Mary Hardy, and then Jack Derby.
I'm Mary Hardy, and I have written 2 books inspired by Katumi, who is John the Beloved and whatever. The first book was Pyramid Energy. What happened in 1968, my husband and 2 sons were picked up by Katumi. We lost 4 hours, and in 1975 we built a pyramid. Then my son John has worked with this. He's worked with the Sasquatch. He's built his own spaceship in the Astro. He's worked with Hilarion. And he has been working with the grid system. Now, I know Norma Milanovic has talked here about it. Katumi is her teacher, too. What's very important to understand is that this planet is going to move into a higher dimension. Everyone here has talked about the process of advancement, and you have so many different techniques. You have sound, you have color, you have herbs. All of that needs the alchemist's touch. And this is the second book that has been inspired by Katumi for me to write, is The Alchemist Handbook to Homeopathy. I am a radionics, well, I work with the radionics. I have taught radionics, but I have studied homeopathy at the Naturopathic School in St. Louis for 5 years. And basically, the importance of this book is to teach you how to go within and use your own inspired alchemist desire to heal yourself. And as I said, each one that comes up here has many, many references to the different tools, color, sound. They're all important. You need to understand how the electromagnetic field works. And that's what Katumi, or John the Beloved, has given to me in this book. I want to thank you for the opportunity of being here. And if you want to come back and talk to me, I'm at booth 37. The interesting thing, I'm just going to take a half a minute. One thing that's happened to me this year is a man read this book from England. He was teaching Native American practices over in England and in Germany. He came and did a Sundance out at Standing Rock, which I went to, was invited guest. The important thing that I learned there is that in all of these conferences, I've been to many, we don't have enough ceremony. This is the promised land. We've got to build the grid system back up, and we've got to use prayer and ceremony to help it advance into the next dimension. And if you want to come back and discuss with me some of the things or the insights that I've learned from this summer's trip around the Indian reservations and talking to this man, I would love to relate that information to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Jack Derby, then Bob Peters.
Hi. I've been here a few times myself. I lost track, actually. But with my wife, Marilyn, we are Pillar of Light Enterprises, The main thing that we do is produce the violet ray crystal resonator, which is an instrument that brings in ancient crystal wisdom with modern high technology electronics. It actually produces electromagnetic energy that is very compatible with the human aura. The ancient 7-chakra system of balancing the chakras does not apply for modern Western man. We've found that we need like 16 of these chakras, or we call them God centers, that need to be balanced. It appears that the definition, what causes a disease, is when one or more of these chakras are not in harmony or in tune with the Creator, which causes a restriction in the flow of the God healing energy. We're thoroughly convinced that all healing comes from the God within us. And so by how the crystal resonator works then, it tunes each one of these power centers, which removes the restriction, allowing the God healing energy to flow into the body and do the work. Also, this instrument is used to treat or balance or tune our food and drink. We use a crystal plate and we put everything on it. Science tells us that it takes half of our life force energy just to digest our food every day, and that's because it's in chaos. The violet ray crystal resonator will tune this, align the molecules so that the body can utilize it without using its own energy. The other thing that we do, we build a water machine which uses a vortex and the violet ray energy and puts the life force back into the water. We do all kinds of different things. I have a table, it's number 55, it's about in the middle back there. Come back, talk to us. We'll do a workshop if anybody's interested. And we sell all kinds of different items, like vitamins and herbal combinations. I guess actually we do about everything there is. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Bob Peters.
Turn down here a little bit. Most of you know me as the bookseller, the book dealer. Can you hear me all right? Can you hear back there now better? Okay. In fact, it looks like some of you are getting pretty tired here, so it's probably a good thing that I am elected as the last person here tonight during this session. Oh, one more, I guess, is coming. We have a newsletter that many of you don't know about, even though you know about our books. We're trying to improve that. I thought I might share with you that the profits, or part of the profits that come out of your sales during this session, is actually going to be toward the purchase of a scanner, computer scanner, so that we'll be able to do a newsletter of a better quality and obviously give more information. So I thought you might be interested in knowing where that's going. If you're not on our newsletter list and would like to be on it, give us your name and address in the back. Once a month we'll try to get you the newsletter that gives you important information, new books that are coming out, this type of thing. Something that a lot of people have asked us about, do we have to carry books around all the time if I get a sizable stack? No, you don't have to carry books around. We have a little table back there that if you get 2 or 3 books and you don't want to carry them around for a whole day or something like that, we'll put them in a sack. We'll put your name on the sack. We'll stash them under someplace so nobody steals the books. And then you can pick them up whenever you want to, the last part of that evening or the next day or whenever, and you can purchase them from that standpoint. The other thing too, because we all have sort of a limitation of space at this particular Congress, because it's become so popular, we're not able to get all the books out. So what we're actually doing this time is trying to sell as many books up front in the Congress as we can, because we can only open the new boxes, and if you look back there you can see several stacks of boxes of books that we haven't even opened up yet. So over the course of the next couple of days, as books sell and as holes come up from those sales, we'll be putting new books and new titles out. So each day you are going to see new books on the tables back there. Now you're obviously going to see some old books, but there's going to be new books intermixed. So continually take notice of that. There's one book that I wanted to mention in particular. The person that distributes this particular substance may be here at this conference. I'm not sure. But the Cancer Controversy is a book, okay, that's extremely good. And since cancer touches most of our lives in some way, shape, or form through our families, it's a book that you might want to take a look at. Thank you.
Please forgive me for forgetting one extra exhibitor. David Persons is last.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly a pleasure to be here tonight, and the last one, and you've been so patient here. There's been so many exhibitors sharing their information with you, and they've gone to great effort to come here and to set up their exhibits. Please support them. My name is David, and I represent Rono Ultra Health, introducing a product called colloidal silver. Colloidal suspension is the ultrafine particles of one substance held in suspension by an electrical charge in another substance. Some of the colloidal suspension that you would be familiar with is homogenized milk and aerosol spray. Colloidal silver is the ultrafine particles of pure silver held in suspension by an electrical charge into pure water. And I have a report that reveals that colloidal silver is an effective remedy for the treatment of over 650 diseases. Partial on this list includes AIDS, allergies, arthritis, bladder inflammation, blood parasites, blood poisoning, burns, cancer, candida, colitis, diabetes, hay fever, leukemia, Lyme disease, parasitic infections, stomach ulcers, viral, fungal, and bacterial pneumonia, pleurisy, prostate, ringworm, scarlet fever, septic conditions of the eyes, ear, throat, and mouth, shingles, skin cancer, staph and strep infections, stomach, flu, typhoid, tuberculosis, viruses of all forms, warts, yeast infections. I encourage you to stop where you see the yellow poster and pick up your free report on colloidal silver. Thank you. Good evening.
If you think you just heard